whole thing with the single mom, but there's just so much to unpack. But I want to get into this when you get into financial planning, because it's not a very, I mean, hey, people get into it, then that's a huge space. I mean, there's just so much going into it. So I want to read this real quick because I was doing some research online, but the space you're in is very competitive. Last report that I saw there are over 26,000 financial planners in Australia, which, I mean, that's Australia. I mean, I'm in America, you're in Australia. That's crazy. So what drove you to enter a space that's very competitive? I mean, like you said, you went in with a partner and then you left and you started True North. So help us understand what drove you, what got you into that space of saying, financial planning, this is where I want to go.
When I got one of my first sort of labouring jobs, I was a tradesman, like an electrician sort of job. I went and worked in the mines in the desert part of Australia, like central Australia, where it's just red dirt. Mm-hmm. And that was the only sort of low skilled job I could get that was decent paying. It's long hours, dangerous work. And I remember working in the mines and I started to get a bit of money and I had to manage it. And I decided to do finance online. I was like, I need to get adequate at some skill. I didn't really have much skill. And right. I thought I liked it and I enjoyed it. I had a passion. I liked the share market. Something that, like, at school I couldn't pay attention, but for the first time I could sit there and read a book in a week. It just caught me. I thought about the next time I could read the book or learn something, and it became exciting for the first time. And I realized that I could learn something, and I had the attention and the ability, and I wasn't limited in my ability. And that's how it started, just to do a course to manage my own money. But after 2 years of really struggling to go through the course, like learning online is extremely hard for someone that doesn't have a long attention span, as you can imagine. Yeah. And I tried to quit a few times. It was times where I was like, I can't effing do this. Like, it's not for me. Like, you're trying to learn online. You're not in that work environment. I was working in a mine with blokes that are just, completely different to any corporate, and finally finished it. And then one day I thought maybe I'll try and get a job, and I reached out to an uncle of mine that used to work high up in the bank, at my mum's sister's partner. And he pretty much told me that, almost in certain words, that maybe I should reconsider. I don't have a degree. I just did a diploma online. That was really hard for me. Right. It'd be hard. And then I thought, no, I'll go apply for jobs. And I applied for one job. And when I called up to see if they got my resume, the guy said we had 35 people that got masters in financial planning.